Hi, my name is Goldman. I'm the director and founder of Goldman & Associates. Our firm has a primary focus on family law issues, so please subscribe to our channel. It's very, very important in a divorce to choose your battles wisely. Yeah, people calling me up all the time asking me, well, what's the most cost-effective way to manage the divorce? Because they're all getting sticker shock. They're calling up lawyers and they're telling them it's going to cost thousands of dollars. It's $400 an hour. It's going to take how many hours to even get to the first court date? You know, it's really important because of the escalating costs that you pick your battles wisely. One cardinal rule, and we'll go through many of them on other videos, but one cardinal rule that I instruct my clients and my staff to instruct our clients, that you gotta not argue about stuff, okay? Stuff can be replaced. Stuff, in most cases, has very little value. You don't argue about forks and spoons. You know why? Because if you can't agree, the court will just have a garage sale and sell all your stuff at liquidated prices. You'll get nothing out of it and nobody will get it anyway. Don't argue about stuff. It doesn't make sense to pay a lawyer $300, $400 an hour to argue about a picture that you bought at the home decorator place for $69.95. It doesn't make any sense. As far as the principle of the thing, you should be aware that the court doesn't have any interest in your principle, okay? The court just doesn't care about it. I'm not saying your lawyer won't care about it. Of course your lawyer will have empathy for you, and if you have something that's of a particular, say, sentimental value because your father willed it to you, it's a different story. I'm not talking about that, but a chair, a desk, something that's fungible, something that's easily replaceable, let him have it. Tell her it's okay, she can take it. You know why? Because it doesn't pay to spend money fighting over it, and you'll get better stuff. You don't need that old garbage. You'll get new stuff for your new place as you move on with your new life. And that's what you should be doing. Never fight over something that you don't really want. If you want to here's a great tip for you. You want to save money in your divorce? Figure out what really matters to you and spend your time and your energy on that. The stuff that you really don't care about one way or another, that's not going to impact your life one way or another, let it go. If you let that stuff go, because most of the divorce issues that come up during the context of a case are about things that down the road nobody will care about. I want to tell you an interesting story. I once had a divorce case, only a couple years ago, where what the parties were fighting about was a cabin. It wasn't a fancy cabin in some fancy place. It was more of a shanty, as it were, where they would fish out of, near a little lake. The thing with this shanty was, I was representing the wife. The wife wanted the shanty because it was next door to her brother who had a shanty, and it made sense that she wanted the shanty because her brother was right next door. Well, because she wanted it, her soon-to-be ex-husband decided that he wanted it too. So, what did the court do? The court did a very simple thing. The court said, okay, here's what we're going to do. Both parties want this shanty. It's probably worth about $25,000 or $30,000. We're going to have an auction. We're going to start at $25,000. We're going to go in $5,000 increments. Whoever wants it, highest bidder gets it. They started bidding 25, 30, 35, 40. She says 40, he says 45. At this point, it's $45,000 he's willing to pay for a $30,000 item. It's a 50% profit. I'm kicking my client under the table. Sell the damn thing. Who cares? Nope. She's staying with it. 45, 50, 55, 60. Got to the point where her ex had the highest bid, $90,000. At which point in time, my client decided, you know what? At this point, I'm going to take my attorney's advice. I'm taking the 90 grand. And she got the 90 grand, and you know what she did? Her ex was in the shanty, her brother is in the other shanty, and she went with the money and bought the shanty on the other side of her brother. In other words, you gotta watch what you're fighting about. Certain things pay to argue about, certain things don't pay to argue about. In the case of this guy, his attorney should have told him, forget that nonsense. You don't need it. You don't need to take this little shanty because it happens to be next to her brother, so it's valuable to her. You don't care about it. Let it go. And this guy paid $90,000 for it. Good. Now he's there. And you know what? She's there anyway because she bought the one on the other side. So a very, very clear example of a client who didn't listen to his lawyer and just paid 3 times the value for something he really didn't even care about. In other words, Don't fight for the sake of the fight. Fight for the sake of something that's really, truly important to you. And most of the time, that won't be stuff. It'll be your kids. It'll be parenting time. It'll be something that really, truly matters in the big scheme of things. If you have any questions about figuring out what that sense of priority should be, give me a call. I'll be glad to help you out.